Okay. Hello, coaches and head coaches. So, welcome to your first week. You just completed probably the hardest week because as the program goes on, you guys are going to be refining this and getting the hang of things. So, right now you're in the chaotic phase, which is you're trying to figure out um, like, what do I do? Who do I send it to? And then just the flow of things. So, to help remedy that, Tim and I I'm going to put together a flow chart for you guys. And the more that we know you have questions, the better we can help down the road. So I love the fact that you guys have been sending me your questions. And especially when I say, hey, there's a webinar, or I'm just going to make a recording. Even today, I had great feedback and people sending me questions today. And I really appreciate you guys for doing that. So, and secondly, thank you for everybody. As last week was going on, you guys probably realized that this program kind of has a crash course test, so you just kind of go head full force into it and you find out maybe what you were not prepared for. And lo and behold, if you ever ask me anything, I will get right away with a response. So thank you, everybody, for sending in your questions to me, and I hope I was able to help you if you had any issues. A lot of you guys had some smooth sailing because either you've been in the program before and maybe you knew what to do, or maybe you asked and you just kind of quickly knew exactly what to do. You took charge of the situation, and I'll have a couple honorable mentions for those kind of duties as we go through this webinar real quick. So first of all, I want to address the flow of how things are going to be going. So on Monday, we will receive the submissions from the students and for each of their blocks. Okay, so once we get those, we put them into folders for each company and then they get distributed out. Okay, so wherever you may not get the same people every time. We also have coaches who are leaving the program, hopefully not very often, but sometimes people realize this program is just too intense for their lifestyle or for their job. And so they can't end up completing the course. And so we'll adjust the assignments for coaches and try to accommodate. And, we'll get head coaches involved too. So we'll put some workload on them as well. So as the program goes on, not every week might possibly be the same, but we're going to try to keep it as consistent as possible. Just know that when I send you guys your guys's files with all your collectibles in them, you're going to also have a head coach that you report to. Now, head coaches, this is very important. So it is your job to take all of those files and evenly distribute it among you and your coaches. So yes, head coaches, even you two, should be grading some papers. Maybe not as much as the rest of your coaches, but definitely some. And if we're not telling you exactly what teams to divide up, then assume that you will be doing the division and dividing up the teams among your coaches and yourself. So it's also good practice to grade some of the documents that you're receiving yourself. So in doing that, you're actually telling your coaches, this is a good example of how to grade somebody. This is not a good example, or these are really common errors that I'm starting to see in these submissions. So maybe you can tell your coaches what to look out for. And so now that once I submit it to you guys, the coaches and the head coaches are going to go through and make your critiques. Then those are going to get sent. The head coach is going to copy and paste all submissions, the critiques. So you have your team, the coach who made the critiques, and then you have your critiques in writing. And so what we would like to see for to distribute to Tim is, I sent out a couple weeks ago a template of a spreadsheet, and it showed a column of team the coach who graded the team and their comments. And if everybody could please follow that template, and here's why, is that template can be used as a mail merge when you are sending out letters to or emails to the teams themselves and the students. So that's why it's kind of critical that we all have a process that's easy in the end to format. And from our experience, we think that Excel, posting everything in Excel that way, is probably going to be the best method this time. And so also it helps Tim receive it and then collect and format everything together so that way he can do his side of the work. All right. And so that is basically what we want to primarily be worried about for the team submissions, okay, the submittables. And then we also will be starting to assign the dirty work, which is actually the fun stuff. It's the reason why you guys are here, to be a coach. And so we're actually going to start doing case assignments. We've had students start telling us their issues already, which is good. And so I'm going to go through some of the emails and be ready for me to elect you as the case assigner. So you're going to be with them. We trained you in the theoretical phase on how to deal with various issues such as team disputes or just disagreements, cultural grievances, or maybe non-cultural grievances. People just are not getting along. So we're going to start assigning you those kinds of cases. And if you have any troubles with analyzing how to go about remedying the issues, let Tim or I know, and we can definitely help out. But we do want to give you guys a shot to take the run with this and be team leaders and issue your consulting advice. Okay, so this is great practice for that resume of all things, and just being able to say that you were able to consult those international business students is great. All right, so I'm going to move on to some of the frequently asked questions that we got. First of all, I don't think the WhatsApp group has been made. I know that's our most frequent question. I did make the Facebook group, and so if you have not been added, find me, and I will certainly add you, okay? But it's X-Culture coaches and head coaches, or something like that. But that's mainly been our platform. Feel free to post whatever you want on there, as long as it's X-Culture related. And if you've got questions, that's a great way for me to respond. I work like a standard work day, 8 to 5. So I'll get alerts on Facebook versus through email. I don't really get alerts that much. So just try to find it on Facebook. If you can't, just give me a holler and I'll try to find you. And so hopefully we'll get the WhatsApp group up and running. And then about Blackboard, Blackboard is coming up. I know that Tim has been posting, or he will be posting some things on there, including a flow chart. So it's kind of like a central hub platform. We'll also be probably submitting the cases there rather than going via email. So it's easier for Tim to see everything on one central platform versus emails, but I'll let him just go through that because I'm not as familiar with the administration piece, but Tim can do a great job at that. And so then let's see, we've got a question about the quiz that goes with this webinar. So basically in the same email, you will see that I'm going to make a Google Forms quiz, or Google Forms, and it's going to be a multiple question. So please just watch the video and submit the question quiz at the end. And that's going to be basically your attendance. And we are going to start taking attendance for the webinars, but no worries, because if you can't do the webinars, we will just submit a quiz. Based on the material that we talk about during the webinars, I will draft up a quick, maybe 10-question quiz just to show that you did in fact watch the video, and that is your active participation. And it's just kind of I think that's the easiest way, rather than mandating everybody to fight their schedules. Almost impossible. We'll just have you guys take a little quiz, and it's going to be in the same email with this video. Okay, so next we have, let's see, the deadlines. When are the deadlines? So Friday at midnight, or we'll just say 11:55 Eastern Standard Time. That's already into European time. So if you can do it early, please submit your critiques to the submittables early. But if you absolutely have to wait till the last minute, they are due by 11:55 Eastern Standard Time. So that way, Tim, who is over in Germany, or Spain, sorry, if he's over in Spain, then he can get those and start reviewing them and sending them out by the time he wakes up. So that way students can get them on time. But here's another thing, is that we also had some people last minute tell us that they could not do their critiques. And that's very inappropriate. First of all, if you were an employer, would you be very happy? Or would you probably, if you had a team of 30 people, would you probably say, you're really honestly not in it to be a team player, because nobody just stands up their team like that, So really, if you absolutely cannot contribute that week, please give us 48 hours notice, okay? 48 hours notice. So if it's due by 11:55 on Friday, please tell us by 11:55 Wednesday night, so that way I can say to the team coach or the other head coach or the other coaches on that team to please distribute the workload that cannot get finished. And so with proper notice, it can be done, but when you tell me in the afternoon on Friday, it can't be done. So, and then after that, there's students that don't get their critiques, and that's not fair for them, because this is all about university education. We are here to educate students. So whatever it is, please figure out if you can or cannot do the work ahead of time, okay? And if it's a consistent thing, just kind of be fair with everybody and really evaluate if this program is worth your while, worth our while to have you, okay? But we really do appreciate all the work that you guys are doing so far, and we really want to try to accommodate everybody. So let's try to be fair here and work together, okay? So we've covered the deadlines, and we covered attendance, and okay, so the deliverables are going to be in the form of Excel spreadsheets when we are receiving them, but I'm going to be sending them to you guys in the format that the students sent them in. So that would be their essay or project proposal format. So I think that's what this question was referring to. And the communication between coaches. So that will work however you guys want it to work. WhatsApp is pretty convenient if we can get that up and running, but if not, whenever I email you guys as a group, your team for submitting your critiques, feel free to, I try to send it to everybody in your group. And so feel free to copy all of those emails in the contact listing, because your coaches are in there too. And I can also send out a spreadsheet with everybody listed as well, if that'll help. So that way when you see somebody's email, you can reference their name. Okay, so I'll work on getting you a good communication piece for that. So that way you guys can collaborate easy, especially if you guys mix up teams sometimes, just to accommodate different situations. So that's a good question. And we will also try, so this was just a remark, it wasn't an issue. Somebody did wonder if their coach got their critiques that they sent. And so we will try to have all coaches be responsible for responding to, all head coaches are responsible to responding to their coaches if they receive the submittables, they will say that they've gotten the submittables for so-and-so, just coach A, coach B, coach C. And so that way all coaches can know if their submittables critiques got received or not. And so that is about it. This was a short webinar, but I really hope that in the future we can all figure out a really good and sound way to get this done. This was actually not very bad for your guys' first crash course chaotic phase, and I'm actually very happy. In fact, so happy that I do have a lot of honorable mentions. So we had a couple of people who did take the lead, given some last minute scenarios, and I am just thrilled with how well that they did. So first I'd like to thank Yashika for taking on, let's see, how many coaches did she take on? She took on, let's see, 10 coaches at the drop of a hat. No issues at all. Did not complain once. And thank you, Yashika, for doing that. That, I think her team was assigned in total 80 teams to grade, and you guys rocked it. So great job, all of you guys. Let's see, we've got a couple others, including Jacob Thompson. Thank you for taking on a lot of group work. Let's see, Valerie and your teammate, you guys did exceptionally well with also Valerie and Henrique. Thank you for your guys' flexibility, and as soon as you guys had an issue come up and you couldn't get in touch with somebody, you contacted me right away. We were flexible until that person could rejoin us, and I'm just so proud of how well you guys did. All of you guys really, really did really well. So I hope to see just as many leadership skills come out, and you guys are going to start showing those as things come. You'll realize in international business that not everything is predictable. So you have to, either you can try to expect the unexpected, or you can roll with it and make the best managerial decision ever. So you guys will start gaining those skills, and I'm just happy at what I've seen so far. So keep with us, and I'm going to be talking to you guys shortly, and keep sending me your guys' questions, because I love having this group interaction. And hopefully we will get in touch very soon. Okay, thanks.